Welcome back to another fantasy style rebuild I have for you guys here today on Madden 20. Today it's going to be a rebuild of the Houston Texans. As always though, before I begin this video, if you guys are looking forward to some more Madden 20 content, including more rebuilds and more franchise videos in general, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button. I would love to have you guys back for my next upload. Also, if you guys end up enjoying this video in particular, I would definitely appreciate if you left a like. They help me out so much in the end. My final two plugs are my Twitter and my Discord. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter or join my Discord, links to those are down below. But now, let's start talking about the team here. The quarterback here is Deshaun Watson, superstar development, 23 years old. He is phenomenal both in the game and in real life. I feel like he's better in the game than he is in real life. That's nothing against him. In the game, he is just absurdly good. He's like a shoo-in to be like top 5 in MVP almost every single season. He is so good. I'm very excited to have him on our team. The running back situation isn't particularly strong in the game. They have a good group of these top 3 guys here. You know, Lamar Miller, Duke Johnson, Carlos Hyde. They're not bad by any means. But I think I could probably trade for a superstar running back really easily. So I'm going to try to go that route for this one. DeAndre Hopkins is like the best receiver in football. Maybe top 2 now that Michael Thomas is doing what he's doing. I don't know. DeAndre Hopkins is still super good. Kenny Stills is not bad. Will Fuller is good. Kiki Kuti down there isn't too bad either. I want Will Fuller being the 2 in the slot, I think. Because he's only 25 years old. He is younger than Kenny Stills. I think QT might be a little bit younger, but he's a 73 overall. Yeah, okay, so he's 22 years old. But he's only a 73. I could afford to trade Kenny Stills, because he really won't play all that much as the number 3. I think QT can just slide up, and then it can just be Will Fuller and DeAndre Hopkins. I think I may go that route. Because as it stands now, Stills really won't get that many targets. I'm not sure how much he's making right now, but if it's a good bit, I don't think it's worth it to keep him. The offensive line for this team isn't entirely strong, but there's some good potential on this team. I mean, we have Laramie Tunsil, who's very good at left tackle, 86 overall. Titus Howard, you know, a rookie this current season, is good at right tackle. He's a 71. I'm sure he can be fine for us. Zach Fulton isn't too bad at a 74. I think he's like 27 years old, though. He's probably good enough to keep on the team the whole time, though. And then Nick Martin and Max Sharping. Yeah, okay, so Max Sharping is another rookie. Nick Martin's certainly not a rookie, 26. Their offensive line, I think, is serviceable for one season. I may have to try to draft a few different replacements, though. At tight end here, we have Darren Fells and then Jordan Akins and Jordan Thomas. I think Jordan Thomas will be the starter because he's only 23 years old. He's not that bad, really. He's actually not bad at all. 81 speed, 80 catching is pretty solid. 86 acceleration, 78 awareness. I think he can be fine at tight end for us. I could trade for one really easily, but I kind of want to see what Thomas does. Darren Fells, I think, will be traded. Of course, massive. One of the biggest tight ends in football right now. And then Jordan Akins only has 1 year of experience at 27 years old. So I don't really think he has much of a future here at tight end, so I think Thomas is the best option. Defensively, there are a lot of studs on this side of the ball. Of course, we have J.J. Watt, 97 overall, one of the best players at his respective position. DJ Reader at defensive tackle, and then, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's last name. We got Charles Amenahue. I'm just going to roll with that. That's probably awfully mispronounced. I apologize if it is, but he's a rookie, 72 overall out of Texas, I believe. I think he'll be pretty good for us here. In simulation, he should do fine. We have Jonathan Joseph, Bradley Roby, Garyon Conley, Vernon Hargraves, and Lonnie Johnson, right? Yeah, Lonnie Johnson's a rookie. I kind of want to get him starting. I don't know where I'd play him, though. He's 6'2", 210. It looks like a pretty good boundary corner. I do want him starting. I think it would be smart to have him play the number 1, because there's a chance of him to go up in development and then progress far into the 80s. Nothing against Bradley Roby, but he definitely has more potential. I mean, Johnson has way more potential than Bradley Roby. Roby's not bad. I don't know if I'll trade him, but there's some pretty good young corners on this team. Jonathan Joseph is not young, but he's pretty good. And we have Garyon Conley, who is good. Vernon Hargraves, good. Both of those guys are young. And when I say good, I mean, of course, respective to the game, because Hargraves kind of got cut from his own team. Conley got traded. But those guys should both be fine for us in the simulation. I'm comfortable with Lonnie Johnson, Garyon Conley, and Vernon Hargraves being the 3 corners on this team. And then move up into the secondary. We have Justin Reed, who's a beast, 84 overall star development. He should be fine for us. Then we have Tayshaun Gibson and Jaleel Adai, who will probably both be traded because they're both kind of old. Gibson's 29 years old, and so is Jaleel Adai. Linebacking core, we have Whitney Merciless, Zach Cunningham, Bernardrick McKinney, and Brennan Scarlett. Brennan Scarlett's 26, but he's only a 72. I definitely want to try to trade for a different outside linebacker. And then Whitney Merciless is still good, but he's 29. I don't know if I should trade him this year or hold on to him for a season. I'm actually not entirely sure yet, but that's the team. This team is very good. You know, of course, they're playing well in real life. I think we can make this team better by making some trades. And speaking of trades, this is not realistic at all. Very much a fantasy style rebuild. I just like to, just mention that again in case anybody didn't hear me in the beginning. This is a pretty big first trade, but we're giving the Giants Bradley Roby, Kenny Stills, and Carlos Hyde for Saquon Barkley. I'm giving the Jaguars Lamar Miller and Darren Fells for their first rounder. I'm dumping a whole lot of cap on the Bengals by giving them Nick Martin, Sergio Calamete, I think is how you pronounce his last name, and Barkevius Mingo for their first rounder. I also just realized that we still have the draft picks that we should not have from the Laramie Tunsil trade, so let me go ahead and trade those to the Dolphins. This may be the cheesiest trade I've ever done. I'm giving the Panthers a 68 and a 67 overall defensive tackle for their first round draft pick. That's absurd. Tayshaun Gibson, Jonathan Joseph, and his 6th round draft pick next year will get me James Daniels. I'm giving the Colts Whitney Merciless, Jaleel Adai, and a 2nd round draft pick for Malik Hooker. So I didn't really want to get rid of Whitney Merciless, but I looked into it a little more. He's on a contract year. It makes sense to trade him now. I'm sorry, Texans fans. I do like him. I think he's still a good player, but we are getting, I think, a lot of value out of him. Malik Hooker will probably come play strong safety. After that session of trading, the team is an 80 overall, 81 offense, 79 defense. We added Saquon Barkley to this offense. I think he is going to be a great acquisition. He's going to help out this offense a ton. James Daniels slid to center, where he's going to start and probably play very well. We didn't really add anybody else on the offensive side, and then defensively, the only player we attained was Malik Hooker. But we did get rid of a lot of players. I'm sorry if I let some of your favorite players go, but I think I did a pretty good job, at least at preparing for the future and whatnot. I got a couple draft picks. We're probably going to have to trade one of those away to get some stuff for next year because we don't have any draft picks the following season because of the, the Laramie Tunsil trade. But anyway, I will simulate now and I'll let you know what's going on. This could actually be pretty big. We have a breakout player challenge for Duke Ejiofor. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I've heard of this player before. I don't think I've ever heard his name said though. So I don't know how it's pronounced. Duke Ejiofor is what I'm going to go with. Ejiofor? I like Ejiofor a little bit more. Anyway, he could go up to star development, which would be pretty cool. We're not going to hold them to fewer than 250 total yards. It's going to have to be the second half. So hopefully he can do something this game, and he can go up to star. That would actually be pretty good. That would make for a nice foundation for him. We almost never get breakout player challenges in simulation, but let's see. Wait, he did it, right? He did! Awesome. Okay, so we got star development on him now, plus 5,000 experience. That's actually massive. Hopefully he's having a good season as well. We have another breakout player challenge here at week 9, which is pretty cool, but let's check out the record. We are 6-2. The team is playing well, but the Colts are 7-0. Also forgot about Andrew Luck. I'm not sure if he's on the Colts or not. I just forgot about him in general. I'll have to go cut him at some point. The Titans 4-4, the Jaguars 3-5. So the top 2 teams in this division are looking really, really nice. But we have a couple experience points here on offense. Titus Howard has 3, along with having star development. Defensively, 2 for Lonnie Johnson down there, 3 for Ejiofor as well. Probably that had to do with his plus 5,000 experience. Let me try to figure out where Andrew Luck is, though. It would be hilarious if he's actually on the Colts. He's on the Giants. Sorry, Giants, but I'm gonna probably cut Andrew Luck for you. I'll let him play this season, okay? Let's give the Giants a season with Andrew Luck. I'll change it before the draft and everything in case they want to take a quarterback in the end. You can have 1 season of Andrew Luck, all right? I'll try to check out their record as well to see what it's all about. DJ Reader could go up in development. He could go up to superstar. That would be massive. We're not going to hold them to fewer than 75 rushing yards. That first one hardly ever happens. But if he can get 2+, he's not going to get 2+ picks. Maybe tackles for loss and sacks. I think for this game, I'm going to make sure he's the top rush defensive tackle, because then maybe he can actually do this. We can also negotiate with DJ Reader. Now, screw you. You're not coming back to the team. And no, I'm joking. I'm gonna bring him back to the team. I want Fairbairn as well. Brian Anger, I can probably give a contract. Actually, I'd rather just wait on a punter, honestly. Like, it's really easy to get a good one in free agency. I'm not that worried about it. But DJ Reader and Fairbairn will come back to the team. We made the playoffs this year, going 9-6-1, having just tied to the Titans in Week 17. The Colts lost a couple games this year. They went 11-5. The Jaguars actually went 9-7. They kind of came back a good bit. The Titans 4-11-1 there at the end. Of course, they're one tie to us, like I just said. Deshaun Watson, how'd you play? 3,745 yards, 31 touchdowns, 7 picks. Not really that bad of a season. Kind of expected more, though, from him, since this is Madden and he usually just balls out. Maybe I can try to switch up the playbook or something. I don't know. Saquon was phenomenal, though. 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 yards per carry. Deshaun Watson got 6 rushing touchdowns, as did Duke Johnson. DeAndre Hopkins, under 1,000 yards. Will Fuller, under 900 by 1 yard, but he led the team in touchdowns. Kiki QT had 2 touchdowns only. Jordan Thomas got 4. Not many sacks allowed, though, so the offensive line was playing well. Defensively, 121 tackles here from Benardrick McKinney. 15 tackles for loss for DJ Reader. Too bad he couldn't have gotten 2 in that one game. 12 for J.J. Watt. Probably led the team in sacks with 8.5. DJ Reader, 5.5. Brennan Scarlett at 5. Ajayi 4 got 4. 2 picks for Benardrick McKinney, 1 for Malik Hooker, and 1 for Vernon Hargraves. Forgot to check the touchdowns and forced fumbles and whatnot, but I'll check it next year. It's not that big of a deal. I think we were 6th on offense, 7th on defense. Zeke wins MVP, though. Jacoby Brissett at number 2. Where is Andrew Luck? Is he in the list? I don't think so, but anybody from our team? Yeah, Deshaun Watson at number 3. Wow, I just kind of missed him. Sort of surprised he was this high, but he did have a really good season. Just want to see something. NFC Offensive Player of the Year. Andrew Luck is in there at number 9. They went 9-6-1 as well. Let's go. That's just funny to me. AFC Offensive Player of the Year was Deshaun Watson. Went by that a little bit too quickly. My bad. Surprised no Saquon, honestly. He had a great season. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Jamie Collins. Benardrick McKinney, though, at number 3. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Josh Jacobs. Cullen Gillespie? Maybe? At number 10, I think he's our fullback. Or maybe like a tight end playing fullback or something. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Drew Tranquil. Lonnie Johnson Jr. at number 2. That actually would have been huge if he could have won that one. That's fine, though. Maybe he still got like a dev up. I kind of doubt it. But it would definitely be cool. Let's see what kind of experience points we have going around then. We have 2 on the offense for a few guys. We have 5, though, for Titus Howard. That's awesome. Defensively, we got 4 here for Ajayi 4. 4 for Lonnie Johnson as well. 2 for Menahue. Okay. I definitely think I am destroying these names, and I am so sorry for that. The team is up to an 82 overall now, 84 offense, 81 defense. Let's see what the Colts are up to. They have a very solid team in the game, so yeah, they're at 84 overall, better than us. T.Y. Hilton there, their only X factor. We have 3, though. 2 of them on offense. Let's advance now and see if we can win. We did win that game, 31-28, and we have to go up against one of the best teams in the game. The Lamar Jackson-led Ravens, 87 overall. They are insane. Of course, when these 2 teams played in the regular season, the Ravens won, and they're going to win again, 38-28. It turns out all the Giants need to make the Super Bowl is Andrew Luck, and they need to trade Saquon Barkley. Obviously, their worst player on their entire team, Saquon, he's awful. That's why, I very gracefully took him on to the Texans here, just did them a massive favor. Made sure not to cut Andrew Luck. That's just really funny. They made it to the Super Bowl. They did not win, though. 37-31. They're kind of going to get screwed over, though, because now I'm going to make sure Andrew Luck is no longer on their team. I just hate that he's still in the game. It's just annoying that I have to keep remembering to do this. I shouldn't have to. Part of me just wants to allow the Giants to keep him. I'm doing that, man. I don't really care. I'm going to allow the Giants to keep him. It's a fantasy-style rebuild. They signed him. They went to a Super Bowl with him. I feel kind of bad just cutting him now. I'm not rebuilding the Giants, so it's not that big of a deal. I doubt I'll really run into him all that much. He's just going to stay on their team. Whatever. I'll do my best to remember to cut him and all that good stuff next time, my next rebuild, but just for now, he's just going to chill here. I don't really think it matters. Actually, he's in free agency. This actually works pretty well. I think I can let him go to the Dolphins, and then I can go and edit his contract, lower it as much as possible, and then make him a kicker. Then he shouldn't affect any more teams. If he was still in the Giants, I would have let him go, but since they let him go themselves, I'm just gonna chill with this then. That's fine. Chris Jones, of course, is always here. Austin Hooper, I'm actually gonna go after Austin Hooper this time. I could technically use another corner. All right, Antonio Brown is here like usual. Joe Tooney is usually a player I go after. I don't really want him this time, though. Yannick Ngakoue, I could move up to outside linebacker. I went after 2 players. Did we get them both? We did. We got Dante Fowler and we got Austin Hooper. Okay, I think those guys are both going to make the team much better. But now let me go and edit Andrew Luck, I guess. This is just weird to me, but he shouldn't be in the game in the first place. I guess it does make sense that I should be taking him out. He probably went to the Dolphins. He did go to the Dolphins. Let me make sure they don't get a massive penalty for this. So let me go ahead. I think I can change his contract from here. I can. Oh my god. Okay, this is going to take me such a long time, but I will lower this entire thing. He should be okay now, right? He's a kicker. I made sure that this is only a 1-year contract now with no money, the lowest I could possibly go. He should be fine. So he shouldn't have really affected the Dolphins all that much, and they still have time to draft a quarterback if they need one. Deshaun Watson has an option for a 5th-year option. That sounded kind of funny, but we're going to do it. We're definitely going to do it. He is one of the best players at his respective position, honestly, already. So I think why not? Malik Hooker also has one, and why not? Let's just do it again. Malik Hooker is also super good. The top player I want in this class is this cornerback. He looks absurd. Pat Byram. One of the greatest looking corners I have seen in a very long time. We have the 8th overall pick, and I'm sort of worried that he might go before then. I'm going to sim one by one and wait for the first corner to go. He's actually the second corner in the class here ranked. So Christian Lacey goes number 1 overall, 72. So they got their quarterback immediately after I kind of made them forget about Andrew Luck. The Broncos go with a 72 wide receiver. Okay. Vikings probably go corner. No, they don't actually. Eric Burns. Titans go Frankie Cates. Okay, and now I sort of want to trade up here, because I want this cornerback so badly. Even though he's supposed to go like 16th or something, I could totally see the Raiders going with him. I probably won't even give up the 8th overall pick. Let's go with the 27th because that's who I am. Yeah, so Vernon Hargreaves is really expensive right now. His cap hit was like $9 million. Getting rid of him, giving him to the Raiders. We're taking a corner anyway, and we're giving them the 27th overall pick for the 5th. Another pretty big fleece, but that's kind of all I do in these rebuilds. Let's get real here. Also just realized I don't think I traded for the Dolphins first rounder, which is pretty funny to me. But let's go with this corner. This guy looks like potentially the best player in the entire class. Pat Byram. He's definitely the best corner in this class. He's a 78. Ranked number 1. He was the top player in the whole class. 95 speed, 93 acceleration, 87 agility, 6'2". Oh, this guy's going to be great. The reason why I kind of said 6'2" like that is because he has 95 speed. That's crazy. But we also have the 8th overall pick, because, of course, I didn't get rid of this one. Who do I want to go with this pick? Honestly, I have no idea. There are some good offensive linemen in this class. I could go that route. I probably will. I sort of need a guard. Also, this defensive tackle looks really talented. It just kind of worries me that he has a B in his last stat. But to be fair, there really aren't many other better defensive tackles. This guy down here is pretty good, Heath Johnson. I think I'm going to go CJ Turner and probably kick him outside to defensive end. He's a 74. I don't think that was a bad draft pick at all. He's ranked number 9, took him number 8, but hidden development, nice, of course. 90 speed, 78 finesse move, 77 speed. He could definitely play defensive end for us. Are there any offensive linemen available? Probably not, but it's really not the end of the world. There are some good-looking right tackles, and I think here I'm going to go Garrett Allen, unless I can find somebody else who I'd rather take. I kind of forgot about this free safety, but he has nowhere to play. He would be our backup free safety. But let me think about this. I don't really think that offensive lineman's going to play either, because we have Laramie Tunsil, we have Sharping, we have James Daniels, Zach Fulton, and Titus Howard. He could start over Zach Fulton, maybe, if the right tackle's good. So I guess by that logic, I should probably take him. This free safety is going to be very good, but I really don't need him. 66. Yeah, okay, this guy sucks. Should have taken the safety, but just in case this guy had another B+ in his last stat, had a good combine, I just felt like it was worth the shot. Yeah, it wasn't a good draft pick. I'll probably get made fun of in the comments for that one. I don't really care, though, because that free safety wouldn't have played. It would have been a waste of a draft pick regardless, really. I don't really like trading down late first-round draft picks either, because you don't really get much for them, so I didn't really think it was worth it. But Devontae Keys actually looks very good. Potentially a starter, but we did take a defensive tackle in the first round, so probably not. But I still will take him here. 68 overall normal development. That was actually a pretty good draft pick, so I'll take that. He definitely won't play, but not bad depth. Our first 2 picks turned out pretty good, but the rest of the draft really did not. I mean, that 68 overall wasn't too bad. That 66 was a massive bust. Massive reach. It should not have taken him there. I'm really curious to see what this free safety is now. But we got the best player in the class. A 78 overall cornerback. He looks so nice. Let me find that free safety. It was him. He's a 76. I'm pretty sure it was him. Maybe? I think he had A- hit power, right? 79 seems sort of low for that. I understand how it's related to everybody else. But the fact that he's the best free safety by a long shot looks like it was probably him. I think it was that guy. Okay, so we definitely missed out. Of course, I'll know when I'm editing if it was this guy or not. Should have totally taken him, but it's, again, he wouldn't have started. It's not that big of a deal, honestly. He's going to, play behind Earl Thomas here for this first couple of seasons. That's pretty cool. That must be cool for a free safety coming into the NFL playing behind one of the best. I just realized now that I forgot to check development trade upgrades, but I don't see any here on offense. But the offense is an 87 overall, actually looking pretty solid. The defense an 83. The entire team's an 85. A lot of silver. We have a lot of star development players on this side of the ball. I could potentially go and trade Brennan Scarlett. I don't really want anything, though, like, out of it. Maybe an offensive lineman I can trade for. Zach Fulton's pretty expensive, but he's a 75. He's not too bad. I'm actually kind of comfortable keeping him. I don't know. Maybe I can do something next year. Turner was going to play defensive end, but this guy's just a little bit higher of an overall. I know Turner is a rookie. I probably should play him. Hold on. Let's just see what he goes up to at defensive end. He's a 74. I'm going to start him at right end. Sorry to Amenahue, however you pronounce that. Turner is much easier to pronounce, so I prefer to have him over there. Now, that's not why. But anyway, I think this team can play well once again. I'll let you guys know what the record's all about. I actually think I will try to trade Brennan Scarlett, and I'll tell you why. I don't have any draft picks this year. Because the Texans just don't because of the Tunsil trade, right? So just look at this. Our first draft pick's in the 3rd round. I kind of want to get a pretty decent first rounder. So let's see if we can trade Scarlett to someone who will have a good draft pick, and it'll probably be the Dolphins. I actually lied. I'm going to the Falcons first, giving them that stupid right tackle I drafted for some reason. Akins in a 3rd rounder next year for their first rounder. I may still try to ship off Brennan Scarlett for another draft pick or something. Maybe should I get like the Dolphins' 2nd round draft pick? Because I don't think I'll be able to get their first. Everything actually changed again. I'm going to the Giants now for their first rounder. All right, so here we are at week 9. Let's see what the record is. We are 5-2, still playing well. The Jaguars at the bottom of the division there, 2-5. I just said them first because we actually play them this week. 4-3 for the Titans, 3-5 for the Colts. Now, check out some development traits. Of course, we have a couple on defense to reveal. I don't think any on offense. A few guys, though, do have an experience point. What's this cornerback all about? Only has star. Oh, that sucks. I was really hoping he'd have like X Factor. He was the best player in the draft. Maybe he's not the best corner then. Maybe one of those other corners had hidden and had superstar or something. I don't know. We still don't know about Turner, but he does have 2 experience points, so that's pretty cool. The top impending free agent is Laramie Tunsil. I thought he had a longer deal than this. Did Madden just not update it, or am I just stupid? Probably the latter. But Will Fuller, I would like back on the team. Gary and Conley, Zach Cunningham, I would also like. Usually Fuller and Cunningham hit free agency, so that maybe the Texans don't have much money. They definitely have enough to bring all these players back. Let's give Tunsil a pretty big deal, and then I'll make sure I can get these last 3 guys here. We actually got a first-round bye this year. That's always cool to see. We lost to the Bears, though, in Week 17, 23-20. Very close game. Finished 11-5. Very close from finishing 12-4, of course. 9-7 from the Colts, 8-8 from the Jags, 5-11 there for the Titans. They are struggling in this one. Usually the Titans play really well. Deshaun Watson, 3,800 yards, 27 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. I'd categorize this as a worse season than last year, but still pretty decent year overall. Actually, it's better than that. It was a pretty solid year. I will take it. Duke Johnson got 12 rushing touchdowns on 96 attempts. Okay, what, he's getting a touchdown every 8 attempts? Is that what that is? That's kind of nuts. Kind of weird that he got more touchdowns than Saquon, but of course Saquon still had a great season. 1,454 yards, 4.8 yards per carry, 10 touchdowns. Will Fuller gets 1,200 yards with 5 touchdowns. DeAndre Hopkins not really doing all that much. Gets 7 touchdowns, though. Austin Hooper gets 4. Kiki QT only gets 3. Doesn't get many targets either or many yards or anything. Laramie Tunsil played really poorly this year, but he'll probably still be in like best offensive lineman list because that's just how this game works. Defensively, 101 tackles for Bernardrick McKinney leads the team once again. 12 tackles for loss for J.J. Watt, who had 14.5 sacks, but we have 9 for Dante Fowler. It's actually a really good season. His first time on the Texans. 6 for DJ Reader. 3 picks for Pat Byram. Maybe that's enough for Defensive Rookie of the Year. 2 for Bernardrick McKinney, 1 for Justin Reed, Lonnie Johnson Jr., Keon Crossan, and Carlos Watkins. He got an interception. Our backup right end. All right, then. Defensive touchdowns. So we don't have any. 2 safeties from Dante Fowler. No blocked kicks. And we have 3 forced fumbles. Bernardrick McKinney gets 2. Pat Byram gets 1. None of them were recovered. But 5th on offense. Again, this is a very good offense. Defense looked pretty good as well. 13th isn't bad, I guess. Lamar Jackson wins MVP. It was bound to happen at some point. Zeke, though, at number 2. Ryan Tannehill at number 3. He's on the Giants now. Okay, they just keep signing all these random quarterbacks. They went 7-9. Not even all that bad, considering what they would usually go at this point if they didn't sign a quarterback. Deshaun Watson at number 10, though. AFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Lamar Jackson. Deshaun Watson at number 4. Look at that. The quarterback for the Dolphins is in there at number 5. Defensive Player of the Year is Jermaine Pratt. I love to see that. You know, having a Bengals franchise. Nobody from the Texans. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Christian Lacey. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Pat Byram. That's awesome. CJ Turner at number 5 as well. Okay, hopefully that Byram guy gets a dev upgrade then at the end of the season. He probably will. He had a good year, and he also won Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'd imagine that's enough to go up to Superstar. But on the offensive side, we have, a good number of experience points for a few of these guys. Like 2, I think, is the most. Defensively, we have 5 for this cornerback. 4 for Turner, who only has star development. A lot of stars on this side of the ball. All but 1 starter has star development, which is really funny. I guess 2 if you count Lonnie Johnson in there as well. All right, we have the face-off here against the Colts, who are 9-7. Divisional team, of course. 86 overalls for both of us. Devin McCourty is a zone hawk? Does he always have that? I know he's playing pretty well this year, but I'm not sure if he got upgraded to that or if it's just in the base roster of the game. That's pretty cool, though. But let's advance by, see if we can make it to the conference championship. And we cannot. We lose to the Colts 42-28. That's rather unfortunate. The Colts actually ended up winning the Super Bowl. 28-21. All right. Well, anybody here go up in development? I think Will Fuller should have superstar. And he actually doesn't. That's surprising. He had a really good season. I really thought he was going to go up to that. Defensively, our corner doesn't have superstar either. Nobody went up in development? Wow, that surprises me too. Our corner I thought had a good enough season for that, but apparently not. We have like no money to sign any free agents, but let's just see who's here. Usually this period's a little bit worse, and right as I say that, there's Ryan Ramczyk and Tre'Davious White and John Johnson. Okay, this is a really good period. Tre'Davious White's actually not getting any contracts. I think it's worth it to give him one, even though we have like no money. There we go. Take that contract, my friend. 37 points. If you happen to accept that, I don't know what I'll do. I'll throw a party. Sadly, he did not accept it. And I can't really offer him much more. We are actually still the only team bidding on him, which is really strange. Tre'Davious White is fantastic. Another 5th-year option here. Saquon. Oh, yeah, we're going to give him this one. We got Tre'Davious White. I didn't up the contract at all. Okay, all right, Matt, that makes absolutely no sense. You would have had much better luck just becoming a free agent altogether. Yeah, you wouldn't have gotten a long-term deal, but dude, you're making like no money. That is hilarious. All right, well, let's see when we draft. I think we have 2 first-round draft picks. We pick at number 4. Who do I want here at all? Like, who do I even want in this draft? That tight end looks phenomenal. That's cool. Jake Harris looks like a pretty good quarterback. Obviously not in need of a quarterback. This defensive tackle looks nice. There's another cornerback who looks pretty nice. Let's just start simulating here. I'm actually just going to go straight to my pick. Who should we pick up? I think I might just go with that left tackle. Probably slide him somewhere on the offensive line. This right outside linebacker looks pretty good. Rocco Ross. And he actually would fit this scheme where Dante Fowler's playing right now. I could move Fowler over, but I kind of like my outside linebacker situation right now, so I don't really want to go with that guy. This defensive tackle is also going to be super good, but once again, I like my defensive line. My offensive line could use a little bit of work, possibly, if this guy's good enough. So, Lindsey Lehman, welcome to the team. 76 overall, hidden development trait. That was a good pick. Probably one of the better offensive linemen in this entire class. He could probably move around if I really need him to. Tunsil didn't really play well last year, but I don't really want to bench him. I think he'll still play all right. I think the team will still do fine. That guy will probably play interiorly somewhere. And at this point, I don't know who to go with. This outside linebacker looks so nice. This defensive tackle also looks so good. How do I not take this guy, man? I'm doing it. 77 with hidden, ranked 5th. 77 is 5th as well. This draft class looks rather stacked. I'm actually just going to simulate to the end of the draft. I have nobody scouted. I don't feel like taking a bunch of shots in the dark. So, computer, do your thing. Did the computer get me any studs? No, definitely not. The highest overall they drafted was a 63. All right, well, those first draft picks we had were actually pretty good. Who wasn't ranked number 1 in this class, though? Is there any 80s or anything like that? 278s, Khalil Dillard. Actually looked like the best left tackle in the class. Wait, hold on. Does this guy have normal? He does. Okay, so I think I'd still rather have the dude we drafted. And then Arthur Cecil. Hidden development, 6'2" corner, just as fast as the dude we have. This guy looks fantastic as well. What's his development? Is he better than the corner we have? He is definitely better. He has superstar development. That's awesome for the Redskins there. I think here's that other defensive tackle I could have taken. He has hidden development, 92 strength for him. Great pairing to Geno Atkins if Atkins is even still on the Bengals at this point. This guy only has star. Maybe our guy has X Factor. I don't know. I feel like I haven't drafted an X Factor in at least a couple rebuilds. It's been a while for me, but let's advance the week and Spend all the experience points, all that good stuff. And of course, I'll let you know what the team's looking like. Here's a look at the team for the final season. It's an 87 overall, 88 offense, 87 defense. We made a couple moves heading into this final season, and I think this team is going to play well once again. This offense looks phenomenal. Defense also looks very good. We just absolutely stole Tre'Davious White. Let me show you what his contract is, okay? This is insane that we got an 89 overall corner for this. Just look how much he's making those next 3 seasons. It's so stupid, but it's okay. I don't really care, man. We just cheesed this system again. Nobody gave him a contract for some reason. It's actually probably because everybody's in negative cap, because that's how this game works. But here's the rest of the defense. I think this team should do perfectly fine this season. I think we just progressively got better. So hopefully we can make the playoffs here one last time. All right, this team got another first round bye, and we also won in week 17. So you guys know what that means. The undefeated dream is alive. We were so close. We went 13-3. Are you kidding me? 9-7 for the Titans, 8-8 for the Jaguars, 6-10 for the stupid Colts. Deshaun Watson, 4,380 yards, 36 touchdowns, 8 picks. Let me just say I don't hate the Colts. I don't know. I do that sometimes to random teams. Deshaun Watson's best season so far in this rebuild by a mile. This is a fantastic season. This should be up there for MVP. I don't know if he'll win it, but it should be very close. Saquon, 1,631 yards, 14 touchdowns, 5.5 yards per carry. Deshaun Watson adds about another 400 yards and 6 touchdowns onto his stat total as well. Will Fuller, 1,207 yards, 10 touchdowns. DeAndre Hopkins just barely over 1,000 with 8 touchdowns. Austin Hooper gets 5. Saquon gets 3 down there. Receiving well, 2. Tunsil played much better this season, only letting up 9 sacks, but the offensive line in total is playing super well. 114 tackles for Benardrick McKinney. 14 tackles for loss for J.J. Watts, who has 9 sacks, leads the team. 6 for Dante Fowler Jr., though, with 10 tackles for loss. Another solid year for him. 4 interceptions for Zach Cunningham. 2 for Benardrick McKinney and Tre'Davious White. 1 for Pat Byram, Gary and Conley, Justin Reed, and Andrew Sorrow. Actually don't know who that is at all. We don't have any defensive touchdowns. We don't have any safeties. We have 1 blocked kick, though, from Malik Hooker. 2 forced fumbles from J.J. Watts, neither of which were recovered. We were first on offense this year. That's pretty cool. And then 22nd on defense in terms of yardage. Okay, Deshaun Watson does win MVP. There we go. It finally happens. Saquon, though, at number 9. AFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Deshaun Watson. Saquon at number 6. Defensive Player of the Year is Jayon Brown. Nobody from the Texans. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Richie Wilson. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Dante Lynch, but Tracy Klein at number 3. Best quarterback is Baker Mayfield, and it's not Deshaun Watson, who was MVP. Okay. Best running back is Saquon Barkley. Best wide receiver is Albert Wilson, of all people. Will Fuller at number 2, though. DeAndre Hopkins at number 10. Best offensive lineman, Ronnie Stanley. Laramie Tunsil at number 4. James Daniels at number 9. Best defensive lineman, Myles Garrett. J.J. Watt, though, at number 3. Best linebacker is Kyle Van Noy. Benardrick McKinney at number 9. Best defensive back is Levi Wallace. Nobody from the Texans. Best kicker is Justin Tucker. Kaimi Fairbairn is in there at number 5, though. Let's go. We got a lot of players in a bunch of those different awards, which is always cool to see. But let's check out these experience points. We should have a good bit for a lot of players. Deshaun Watson won MVP, and he only has 2. He'll probably get more after we simulate a little bit. He'll probably also go up to X Factor, which is always awesome. Layman has 4 experience points. He's going to be an 84 overall guard with some morale. Defensively, we have 4 for Klein, who also only has star development. So somehow I've managed to only draft stars, which is kind of frustrating, but still, I mean, better than normal, I guess. I think the tight end the computer drafted me got 7 experience points. Does he have superstar development or something? That seems like an absurd number to have for being a backup. I need to check this guy out. Does he have superstar? His development is still hidden, and I can't see it right now. I just want to check to see what it is. It's just star. Okay, how did he get so many? Why did he get 7 just being a backup? I'm really not sure about that one, but the team right now is an 88 overall, 89 offense, 88 defense. Let's advance into the divisional round and see who we have to play. We are going up against the 9-7 Chiefs. We are 13-3. Come on, we have to win this game. Probably have a higher overall. We do by 5. We have 3 X Factors compared to their 2. Or we are definitely on pace to get another one after this season, though, in Deshaun Watson. Let's go to the conference championship and see if we are in it. We are in it. We won 27-10, playing very well there against the Chiefs. We have to take on Baker Mayfield and his Browns. The Browns are phenomenal in this game. They're an 85 overall. At least 3 X factors for them. I wouldn't be surprised if Baker Mayfield is up to that as well. Let's go to the Super Bowl. I have confidence that we're going to be in it, though. This team is very good. And we are in the Super Bowl. Okay, I think development traits can go up now. Let me just see. Deshaun Watson is up to X Factor. That is going to help us out a ton for this game. Still nobody on defense is going up in development. Oh my, what's wrong with this defense? Okay, let's hop into the game here. Maybe I'll play a good bit. I probably will, actually. It'll be fun to use Saquon and use DeAndre Hopkins and whatnot. I actually don't have much experience using either of them. Let's throw on some Color Rush uniforms. These Texans Color Rushes are very nice, so that's why I want to do this. All right, this game is pretty close here, but let's see if we can manage the offense. Austin Hooper's number 47 on this team, and Saquon is number 36. My lord, that is awkward. Okay. QT is open across the middle. I'm just going to throw that to him. Pick up the first down. Of course, let's try to chew a lot of this clock off. Of course, we don't really need this score. All we have to do is just take time off the clock, but I still want to try to use this offense, so let's see what we can do here. Wow, that was lucky. That should not have been completed, but it was, because number 31, Adrian Amos, played that really poorly. Oh my god, Saquon is unbelievable. Oh my lord. Yeah, okay, yep. Saquon looking really strange with number 36. I really can't get over that. That was phenomenal. 2-point conversion is also good to DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, this game should be over. Okay, the game is over. We're going to win the Super Bowl here in the final season, 34-27. The offense played well. The defense played well most of the time. I guess they kind of came back near the end, but it proved to be pointless because we still kept the lead, of course. I thought this rebuild went super well. I thought we built a very nice team. We drafted fairly well. I missed on a couple draft picks, at least one I can think of, that stupid right tackle, but we got another first rounder out of it, so I guess it wasn't the worst thing in the world. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.